Welcome to Halifax, Nova Scotia for Game 7 of the 2018 NBLC Finals, where the Halifax Hurricanes had a comfortable 2-0 lead, and then 3 straight losses had their franchise's second championship in some jeopardy. In London, Ontario, the Lightning fans have hope that this could be the year that they repeat for the second time, winning their 4th title in 7 years. Tonight, it's winner take all, Game 7 of the finals. Good evening, everyone. With Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand. The final series has been dominated by the home teams. The Bolts and the Canes unable to capture a road victory in these finals. But the Canes in Game 6, it was Halifax's relentless energy, crashing the offensive boards along with winning the first and fourth quarters to force this 7th and final game. Matt, what are your thoughts? I mean, this one's going to be a dandy, and who thought that these two teams would be in Game 7 fighting for the title?
Well, yeah, and you said it all right there as far as the last game goes. Halifax got the win. They were able to come out strong, and they were able to finish strong. So you look at the stats from that. They got 32 points in the first quarter. They jumped out to an early 8-point lead. Second and third stayed roughly the same, with London winning about minimal points, and then in the final quarter, Halifax won it by 11 points. They started strong, they finished strong, they got the win. They got to play a similar type of game tonight to get this championship.
And as we get set for Game 7, starting lineups and no changes. Ryan Anderson still out with the ankle injury, not available tonight, so Kirk Williams Jr. once again draws in to the starting lineup. The same starting lineup for Halifax. And here in this city, man, it was a big game last night, and it's an even bigger one tonight.
Yeah. You can feel the energy right now tonight in the stadium here in Scotiabank Center. It's going to be a great game.
Hurricanes win the tap. White off the pick and roll. White puts it up for 3. It's no good. Rebound by Brown. Brown with the putback, but that's denied by Kirk Williams Jr.
That's what they're going to be looking for from Brown tonight. Keep grabbing those boards. He's been huge all series.
Williams on the kick out, the Herring Jr. Williamson, who's been outstanding, to Boyd, who also is outstanding, and he knocks down the tough jumper. Julian Boyd has been dynamite in these finals, averaging 20 points and 13 rebounds, and he's only second behind Antoine Mason from downtown with 11 threes in these finals.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. He's been doing it all for them. They're relying on him, and they're going to need him tonight.
Watson with the blow-by, and he banks it home. And that's what Tyrone Watson has been doing, dominating, getting inside that painted area. Watson comes into tonight's game averaging 23. Boyd again, that's denied off the backboard by White.
Great second chance by Billy White. Second effort, I should say, as he got a defender had to step on him.
Watson again puts up a wild shot. That's no good. Williamson with the rebound. He goes end to end. Williamson tries to bank it home. No good. Second chance opportunity coming up, though. London resetting into their half-court set. Williams Jr. trying to attack Clinkscales, and it looks like Clinkscales will be called for his first personal, as Williams Jr. will shoot 2.
Williams Jr. just too big for Clinkscales underneath in the blocks there. You see the replay here. Debatable call, I think, but makes no difference at this point.
And Kirk misses the first. And he goes 1 for 2. Williams Jr., 42 minutes last night, Matt. 9 for 15 from the field with 22 points and 5 rebounds. He was outstanding before he fouled out.
42 points. It's a lot of game to play. Wonder if that's going to catch up to him today on a back-to-back.
Very important. It's definitely going to be a game of attrition for both of these teams, as Brown gets to the rim, and he's fouled by Boyd.
And I like that.
Julian Boyd was in a lot of foul difficulty in the first 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Had 3 quick fouls, and he didn't really play much of that second quarter, but he sure was a factor in the third quarter.
Wow, he's been a factor nonstop in this series, really. But I like that, going at him early, see if you can't get him into foul trouble again. Do what you can to mute his input, right? Because he's been fantastic.
But this man has been outstanding as well. Ramel Brown
Sure
from
has.
Manhattan College. He was great last night. I'm searching for words to say about him. 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 of them were offensive rebounds as Ramel goes for an empty trip. And it's a 1-point game for London. Herring Jr. off the pick and roll, and he finishes.
He's quick. Can't give him a step.
Pick and roll is going to be very important aspect of this game on both sides. Both of these teams like to run the pick and roll. To be able to defend it is going to be one that's going to be highlighted all evening long.
Yeah, and Halifax has had difficulties defending the pick and roll. You and I discussed this before the game, and if you're the coach of London Lightning, why not keep going back to that well?
I had a brief conversation just before the game with Ryan Anderson, who's not available tonight, but turned assistant coach, and he spoke about the pick and roll. I mean, they like to run it just as much as Halifax likes to run it, and it all comes down to matchups. It all comes down to trying to exploit where the weakness is. White for 3, and he drains it. And that's a shot that was missing last night from Billy White, but otherwise he was still outstanding in victory last night as well. White, 41 minutes, ended up with 18 points and 12 rebounds on 7 of 14 shooting.
Ooh, Williams looks like he got
And
away
he
with a bit of
banks
an
it
elbow
home.
there.
As you can see, the assertive effort on their half-court sets, they like to go to Williams Jr.
Well, Halifax really doesn't have aside from their bigs, if he ends up on someone like Antoine Mason, why not go to him? Because he's big. Oh my goodness.
And Williams Jr. rejects it and throws it into the first row. White getting triple teamed on the baseline. Boyd initially was one-on-one with White, and then Williamson with the help, and Williams Jr. with the denial.
You see the replay there. Sends it in. And there's Billy White hitting the 3.
Watson,
Nice take.
and he banks it in. Tyrone Watson, 2 for 2.
pretty
And
good
he
at
has to have a quick start and a good, strong start in this one.
Yes, he does.
And you can see it's the intensity in his eyes. It's important for him to get off to that good start. Boyd for 3, comes up short. Gaines trying to run in the open floor. White, and he throws it down over Williams Jr. with the 2 hands. And that was a beautiful run out in transition by
Wow.
Billy White, and great execution on the pass.
How about that? I was going to say, how about that pass by Clinkscales?
White almost coming up with the steal as he knocked it away from Herring Jr.
Clinkscales put just over an athletic Boyd to get that to Billy White. You see the replay here. Look at that. I mean, you can't even talk about putting it in the square. He did it there.
And Billy wasn't going up soft with it.
No, sir.
He saw that first rejection down the previous trip, and he didn't want Williams Jr. to do it again, and Bolden knocks down the 3.
Yeah,
And he's another guy that has to be outstanding tonight
he sure does.
for the Lightning.
For the Lightning. He's been quiet all series.
Especially here, he's been good at home, but on the road he has struggled. Watson, that shot's no good. Rebound by Boyd.
London doing a good job of getting their ball movement so far has been spectacular.
Herring Jr. rattles down another, so that's back-to-back 3s from downtown for the Lightning. They got a 4-point lead here.
Can't leave guys open from this London Lightning team. They'll burn you.
White pump fake, goes baseline, and he's fouled. Looked like he got pushed on the baseline by Williams Jr. That'll be his first personal. Friesen Laddie comes in for the Lightning. Don't usually see Joel this early in the game.
He's in early. Coach going with a quick rotation here.
Williamson will sit down for Keith Bassel. Clinkscales with the inbound, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Well defended inbounds.
Clink off the pick and roll.
5 on the shot clock.
He's got to go. Puts it up for 3, and he drains it.
Great shot. Captain Clutch, Scales.
And it's back to a 1-point game.
There it is again. Look at that.
And he throws down the two-handed slam off the pick and roll. Beautifully executed. Boyd rolling back, and there's no help on the help line by the Hurricanes. And 10 times out of 10, Julian Boyd's going to throw it down with authority.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
Chris Scales
he was
gets
getting
the
bounced around in there.
Clint Scales getting inside the defense and able to bank that one in. Boyd now swings it to Williams Jr. He'll put it up for 3, and he bangs that one down. So that's 3 consecutive threes.
3 of 4 for them.
And they are shooting the lights out. They knocked down a plethora of threes last evening as well. They went 6 for 21. That's good for 28%. But they're looking to up that mark. They have half of that total already. Mason, he banks it home and one.
Just before that play, Vince, I was about to say London's doing a good job of keeping the ball out of Antoine Mason's hand so far.
Yeah, Mason's been quiet, but not now.
He hits his first.
Mason sporting the Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. Bright red with Sonic the Hedgehog on both sides.
Custom.
So a timeout on the floor. 2-point game for the Bolts, but the pace has been up and down, Matt, and both of these teams are getting what they want on the offensive end.
Yeah, both teams playing very aggressive offense today. Like I was saying earlier, London's doing a really good job of getting that ball moving around. They're running the pick and roll, and when they don't have it, they're kicking it out to the open guys, as you've seen there for a couple of very relatively open three-pointers, and that's translated into, I believe, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, they're looking to be aggressive. They can't afford a slow start. As you mentioned at the top of this broadcast, they got outscored in the first and fourth quarter of game number 6, so they're not trying to duplicate that situation in game 7. They want to make sure that they get things done offensively. Losing that first quarter 32-24, and in the fourth quarter 32-22.
Yeah, it's
so
hard.
they can't afford to allow Halifax to put up a 30-point spot in any of the quarters. So
Especially
tonight the defense is going to be very key, in particular the pick and roll, as we have seen both teams struggling here in the first quarter, trying to defend that pick and roll.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a team that runs it better than London in this league, to be quite honest with you, Vince. They run that pick and roll almost to perfection at times.
And it's a few different variations of the pick and roll, almost like Halifax. Halifax also has a few different variations of the pick and roll. So it might come down to which team can defend that pick and roll the best.
You got to figure it out.
I'm preparing for that this might go beyond 48 minutes.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine? It's like Mike Poole might be checking in. He is indeed.
So Mason
completes
the 3-point plays. And it's back to a 1-point game. Herring Jr. splits the defense, loses the handle, and gets the teardrop to go. So just when things were looking a little dire for Doug.
I'm not too sure what the call is here.
The delay of game warning on the Lightning there. This evening officials, Jason Steele, Ryan Lutz, and Matt Boyle. Brown. White now. Closely guarded by Bolden. Bolden doing an outstanding job defending. Shot clock under 5. Poole forces up the jumper. And that's no good. And that was good individual defense there by Mo Bolden.
Yeah. Halifax really didn't have an answer for that offensively. They looked a little bit lost on that last set.
Herring Jr. trying to Gets the isolation on Clinkscales, kicks it out to Williamson. He gives it to Boyd. Boyd for downtown, and that's rims in and out. So 2 good looks from downtown for Julian Boyd. Unable to connect from that distance. White with the pump fake, gets in the key, and
wow, what
up
a nice take, bud.
Under, and he gets the finger roll to go.
Good job of Billy White getting his defender off his feet.
Billy 2 for 4 now from the field. He's got 5. Herring Jr. for 3, and he knocks it down again. Doug asserting himself offensively. Was off to a slow start in game number 6, but tonight he's 4 for 4 from the field, including 2 for 2 from distance. He's got 10 in the quarter.
Yeah, and he's using every inch that Halifax gives him.
White now with the pump fake. The Clinkscales. Shot clock under 5. Klink's got to put it up from 18 feet, then he knocks it down.
He's playing clutch today.
And they are going back and forth here in this first quarter. Bolden tried to swing it to Williamson, and a good hand and knocking it out of bounds is Mike Poole. As Johanny D'Alembert checks in.
You see the
Julian
replay
Boyd
here.
will get a break.
Clinkscales stops and pops there.
Herring Jr. now. That's a tough 3, and he knocks it down again right between the eyes.
Wow.
Doug is absolutely on fire, putting on an offensive display in game number 7.
Yeah, Halifax has to figure that out and figure it out quick, because if that keeps up.
Clinkscales call for too many steps, took that extra step, and that'll be a turnover.
Not happy with that call.
And that's the first turnover for the Hurricanes. Friesen Laddie, he gets his pocket pick, but it goes out of bounds, and it'll remain London possession with 17 on the shot clock as Kyle Johnson prepares to enter the game. And he'll come in for Friesen Laddie. Taquan Zimmerman jumps off the bench. He'll enter for the first time as well. Clinkscales will get a breather for the remainder of the first quarter. Herring Jr. guarded by White. Herring Jr. looking for the isolation. Crossover, pull up for 3, and that's in and out. Had a good look after he crossed over Billy. Billy did a good job closing. And distracted Herring Jr., and that's his first miss of the evening.
Rommel Brown saves it.
Mason back
Great
to Brown.
pass.
Brown is fouled from behind by Williamson. And Brown will go back to the free throw line to shoot 2. So we mentioned Brown in game number 6, as he was outstanding last night. And he's got a few records in these finals. The other one, block shots in a game, as he misses 3 consecutive free throws, and he was pretty steady last night from the charity stripe.
Not his strength normally, though.
But Brown has been displaying outstanding rim protection throughout these finals.
7 blocks in one game.
And 6 in the previous one. And both of them were records. So he broke his own record in these finals as he goes 1 for 2. And it's a 4-point game now. Herring Jr. off the screen. Zimmerman staying with him. Johnson, he pump fake Bolden trying to blow by Brown, and he does. Can't finish at the rim though. Rebound by Poole. Poole back the other way. Poole attacking, can't finish. That rebound's scooped up by Williamson, and he'll go off to the races. They have numbers back the other way, and Bolden throws it down with 2 hands. So a good push and transition off the miss by Williamson, finding Bolden, and Bolden's got 5 now.
Zimmerman tried to get around the other side of him. Knew he couldn't get up with him. Tried to get the steal. Gave him the free pass.
Different team in game number 7. A sense of urgency being displayed by London as they are attacking when they have the opportunity in transition, and they are executing in their half-court sets to perfection. Something that the Hurricanes definitely need to make adjustments going into the second quarter. Turnover there by Mason. Tried to find White, cutting back door on Boyd.
Yeah, it's a second
time. Jr. to Dellenberg. He's tripped up on his way to the rim. Not in the act of shooting. Hurricanes have one more foul. No, they got a few fouls to give, but that's their second personal.
See the replay here. Yeah. Obviously not a malicious trip or anything like that.
And that's Billy's first foul of the evening. Johnson, tough pull up. That's in and out. Mason with the rebound. He's looking to run in transition. Mason end to end, off the window, can't get it to go. Williamson gets the rebound. Mason chases him down, taps it into Herring Jr., and Williamson banks it in off the feed from Herring Jr. as Mike Leslie either wants a timeout or he wants a conversation with Ryan Luce, and he gets both.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So it's an 8-point lead for London, and they have been impressive.
They have
in this quarter,
especially that last that last series you saw right there. Antoine Mason going down, trying to kind of put the team on his back, get a score. Halifax really needed a score coming off of that. They weren't able to get it, but not only that, London came right back in transition at lightning speed, and was able to get a real quick 2 points. So if you're a London coach, that's best case scenario. That's what you're hoping for, and obviously not what you're hoping for Mike Leslie, which is why he's called the timeout. Coach
Leslie trying to regroup here with 57 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It has to, if you call a timeout with 57 seconds remaining in the first quarter, you definitely need to address some situations, and there's a few of them that need to be addressed here. As London with the 8-point lead in Game 7. Good crowd on hand once again, and back-to-back nights here at Scotiabank Center. They love to dance in the aisles.
Oh, yeah.
With Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand, and the entire Silver Vision crew for the decider of the 2017-18 NBLC season.
Last game of the year, one way or the other.
A champion will be crowned tonight and leaving the building with the hardware. So some final instructions by both coaches. Hurricanes will inbound.
They need to get at least one score before they close out this quarter here.
And a couple stops as well.
Yeah.
Brown, closely guarded by Dellenberg. Zimmerman swings at the pool. Zimmerman back to Brown. Brown attacking Dellenberg with the right hand and gets the floater to go.
Nice touch by the big man. Good job using his body.
That's just what the doctor ordered coming out of that timeout. A much-needed bucket provided by Brown. 6-point lead, under 30 to go. Williamson, Herring Jr. thought about it. Shot clock under 5, tough shot, step back, that rattles in and out, but the putback is there by Boyd.
Gotta box him out.
Unevaded to the rim is Boyd, and he gets the easy putback to go down. Boyd's got 6. Mason can't get to go off the glass, and that'll do it. So after 12 minutes, it's an 8-point lead for the Lightning in game number 7, and it was a pretty good quarter for the London faithful as they took this lead, and they basically took control of this game halfway through this first quarter.
Yeah, they got control of pretty much every aspect of the game. I mean, the stats show a relatively even game, but it would be hard to argue if you're watching this one that London's not in control. And the score kind of mirrors or reverses what the score was at the end of the first quarter last game. Only Halifax was going into the second quarter with the 8-point advantage. So it's the London Lightning that have started off fast tonight. So Halifax has to do their best to right the ship and right it quick.
I mean, both teams are shooting the lights out from the field.
Yeah, they are.
Halifax, they're 10 of 19 at 53%.
Yep.
London, 13 of 21 shooting at 62%. But it's the shooting from beyond the arc that's the difference in this 8-point deficit for Halifax. 5 of 8 from downtown are the Bolts. Hurricanes are 2 for 2, but they got to do a better job defending in transition, and they got to do a better job defending that pick and roll, second chance opportunities. They've been there for the Bolts. Points in the paint, relatively even, 12 points, and that was a factor that was gleaming last night for both of these teams, as Halifax were attacking. 28 offensive rebounds last evening for the Hurricanes. That's 28 chances to get points, and that the game last night could have got away from London if Halifax were able to execute.
Yeah, and not only that, it's 28 other chances that you get, but even if you don't hit it, it's 28 times where the other team doesn't have their hands on the ball, right? You got to make them do something. Halifax not doing that right now. And what I, as I look at this game, you look at the ball movement for both teams, Vince. It looks like London, their ball movement, it's like it's got a purpose, and it's paying off for them. Halifax ball movement in the offensive sets, it really doesn't look like it. I'm sure it does, but it's not looking like they have a purpose or they know, exactly what they want it to end like. Either that or London's just guarding it so well that that's how it looks. But that's how it looks. I mean, Halifax's ball movement's got to improve just a little bit if they want to, come back.
So the Hurricanes trying to improve on that first 12 minutes, looking to dig in here, the start of this all-important second quarter, to grab the momentum and get this home crowd back into it. Fans, if you're just joining us, it's an 8-point deficit for the home team, the Hurricanes. With Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand here for game number 7 at Scotiabank Center. As Herring Jr. was outstanding in the first 12 minutes.
Yes, he was.
13 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Williamson can't put down the 3 ball. He had a good look from distance.
Halifax got lucky there.
He's 1 for 3 now. Is Williamson, who was outstanding last night with 27 points.
Clinkscale slipped there.
Clinkscale slipping, gets it back though. Zimmerman to the rim, and that's in and out. Rebound by Johnson. Good take, aggressive take on the drive by Zimmerman, just unable to convert. Boyd now inside the Johnson, tries to go one-on-one, and that's tipped and last touched by Mike Poole. It will remain Bolts possession, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Williamson won the inbound.
Good job of Poole, keeping his hands in those passing lanes.
Shot clock under 5. Herring Jr. crossover, step back, tough shot, beats the shot clock and beats Poole's defense and knocks down his 15th point. 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from downtown. Herring Jr. is hot, to say the least.
He's the X factor right now. He's the difference in this game right now.
10-point lead, the largest for the Bolts. Clint Scales. He puts up the jumper and he puts it in. And Clint Scales, though, has been playing outstanding, looking to be very aggressive offensively.
Yep.
As he knocks down his 9th point. He's 4 for 4 from the field, Clint Scales, including a 3-ball. Williamson banks it in off of his miss. He stayed with it.
Mike Poole did a great job of defending there, just wasn't able to get the bounce on that rebound.
Clint Scales crosses over Williams Jr., gets to the rim, and that's knocked out of bounds by Williamson. It will remain Hurricanes possession. 14 on the shot as Clint Scales will inbound on the baseline.
See the replay of it here. Drives, gets hit just a little bit, or sorry, not.
Poole for 3, and he knocks it down. Up and in for Mike Poole. Poole had a huge game in Game 6 last night, finished the night with 20 points. Mike Poole off the bench, and he was outstanding. 20-7 he went. Herring Jr. again, can't get it to go. Rebound by Zimmerman, great block out on Johnson. Canes have numbers if they hurry.
Whoa.
Zimmerman turns it over though. Herring Jr. taps it to Williams Jr. and he's fouled in transition by Clint Scales. And Clint Scales helps up Williams Jr. Great display of sportsmanship there by Clint Scales, denying that easy run out.
We'll see it here. You get the run, see Clint Scales trying to grab him, and he's just a big man. That momentum's going to go, right? Did they call it a flagrant there?
They sure did. So it'll be 2 shots plus the ball for London.
And like I say,
that's too strong for Williams Jr.
Halifax's ball movement that was kind of indicative of what I was talking about with Watson there. He kind of stopped and considered taking that deep shot, decided against it, wanted to move the ball around, but it was just there was no one there, that didn't have a defender in their face.
So Kirk goes 1 for 2. 8-point lead for London. Hurricanes have led only once when it was 4-3, Matt.
Yeah.
They're trying to grab this momentum, but London's been very aggressive, and they've been shooting the lights out from downtown. And Herring Jr. has been leading the charge. Boyd now trying to back in on Poole.
Well defended.
And he can't get it to go off the glass. Good rebound by White. Clint Scales pushing it now. Kicks it to Poole. Poole blow by on Williams Jr. Banks it in. Outstanding dribble drive, and Keith Vassell calls a timeout, sensing that the momentum is starting to shift.
Yeah, smart call by Keith Vassell, and a good play by Mike Poole there. He's playing tough defense. What do we have happening here now? Oh, looking.
Not sure if they're going to give him the timeout. They look like they initially gave him the timeout, the officiating crew of Lutz, Steele, and Boyle. So timeout on the floor, 6-point lead. Hurricanes looking to turn it on a little bit, but it all starts on the defensive end, man.
That's right, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to get those defensive stops. I mean, that's why you bring a guy like Mike Poole out there, because he's one of your better defenders. And those defensive stops, those good defensive plays, those hustle plays that you get out of him, they usually translate into scoring, which translate into momentum. All of a sudden, Halifax clawing their way back. So I think it's a good call by Keith Vassell to kind of put that fire out right now, right? Why not?
Trying to right the ship and make some adjustments on the fly. Very important. He can't allow the Scotiabank faithful to get involved in the game and take back the momentum that he worked so hard to this point to gather after that strong first quarter.
Yeah, and conversely, Halifax wants to get this crowd into it, right? This is why, you bust your butt all season long to get that best record in the league, so you can get home court advantage for this very situation. You go 7 games, you want to be at home. You want the crowd, you want them on your back, and you want to play in your home court, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hurricanes 15-5 in the regular season at home, 7-1 in the playoffs, and they have been outstanding. The only blemish in game number 1 in the divisional round versus the Island Storm. Since then, they've been magnificent here at Scotiabank Center, and they've done an outstanding job of defending their home court in each of the series that they were able to capture. But 7th game here, winner takes all for the NBLC title. Out of the timeout, the Bolts will go with Boyd, Herring Jr., Williams Jr., Johnson, and Capers, who's checked in the game for the first time. For the Canes, it's Brown, Clint Scales, Poole, Watson, and Mason.
London's really getting a lot of great play. There's some guys that maybe they might not have seen as much of, had the roster been a little bit different, had they had Royce White for these playoffs, right? There's Mike Poole again.
Poole tapping it out of bounds. Yeah, no Royce White, but no problem.
That's right.
For London right now. Both teams taking care of home court advantage. As the Hurricanes, for the first time in the season, losing 3 straight, and almost lost 4 straight last night. Johnson, jumper's no good. Rebound by Poole. Clint Scales, closely guarded by Capers. 3 balls, no good from Mason. Mason continuing the slow start from the field. Came on strong last night in game number 6. Ended up with 22 points for the Hurricanes, and that was a team high. Williams Jr., tough jumper, and he rattles it down over Brown.
Yeah, not bad defense by Brown. He was able to get a hand up there, but Williams Jr. just has a nice shot.
And Kirk continuing to be perfect from the field. He's got 7 on 2 for 2 shooting. Oh, excuse me, 3 for 3. He's got 9. Is Williams Jr. Mason, double team. Mason forces the tough 3 that rims in and out. Rebound by Boyd.
Halifax had no rebounders there on that shot.
London doing an outstanding job of limiting the Hurricanes to the one and done.
It's a mismatch here.
Williams Jr. baseline, kicks it to Johnson for 3, and Johnson bangs it down.
London is firing on all cylinders right now, Vince.
It's an 11-point lead. It's their largest. They are coming out gunning from beyond the arc are the Bolts.
6 to 12.
6 of 12 from downtown. And they are leaving it all on the floor. Clint Scales with the floater. Short at the rim. Hustles for the rebound though. Comes up with it. Second chance. Poole for 3. Bam! He knocks it down.
Poole might be the answer right now.
Mike Poole, back-to-back 3 balls. He's got 7, is Poole. 8-point lead. Boyd for 3, and swish.
Goodness.
All net for Julian, and that forces a timeout for the Hurricanes.
What do you do? They just can't miss, it seems, especially when they step out of the arc.
A rainbow by Julian Boyd forces the hand of Mike Leslie. Bolt 7 of 13 from beyond the arc. And they made 8 threes last night. They're 8 for 23 for the whole game. So 2 things right now are coming into play in this first half. The shooting by London and the rebounding. Both of those things let them down in game number 6. But right now they have addressed it and they made the adjustments. Now it's Halifax's turn to make their adjustments.
Yeah, and they're going to need to make those adjustments quick. So for me, if I'm thinking the adjustments Halifax has to make right now, you've already spoke about the rebounds, right? You got to get, they want to get back, crashing those boards like they always do, but it's got to be defense right now, okay? Halifax has to play that solid defense, and they can't panic, okay? You and I both know the chances of London continuing on this 3-point shooting streak, it's going to slow down, right? They're going to start missing shots. So if Halifax doesn't panic, they play tough defense, and they can chip away, eventually they'll have themselves climb back into this game. Key is not panic.
Definitely a game of runs, and it's been definitely a series of runs by both of these teams, either at home or on the road. So the Hurricanes up against it, trying to find their rhythm defensively, having no problem scoring the basketball, but trying to find that magic formula defensively. Clint Scales. Poole now. Watson, here comes Watson. He drives on Bolden, gets to the rim, and he forces the foul, and it looks like it's either on Bolden or Williamson, but a good take by Watson coming out of the timeout now.
Yeah, why not? Why not keep doing that, right? He's a great finisher. Give him the opportunity. If he's in ISO, let him take it to the rack, get a couple fouls. You know, he's been fantastic all series too, scoring a lot, rebounding a lot, playing the game that he plays. Why not, man? Put it in the hands of you guys you know are trustworthy.
So Bolden picks up his second personal. Both teams doing a good job of staying out of foul trouble in this one. 62 combined fouls last evening in game number 6.
Wow.
31 apiece. Capers loses the handle on his way to the rim, but he's fouled.
See who got him.
And it's called on Mason. Mason's called for the reach.
See the replay there. Just got a little bit of, I don't know if it was the reach so much as it was the elbow we put in the side there that might have got him there. The arm check.
So that's Mason's first personal. Williamson will inbound on the baseline. Williamson brings it out on the reset. Pick and roll, Bolden. Bolden with the step back, tries to go one-on-one against Brown. Brown denying him. Bolden's got to put it up. Shot clock down.
Nice defense by
and
Ramel
a shot
Brown.
clock violation. And Ramel Brown once again closing out on the quicker man, Bolden.
Yep.
But Ramel Brown's been displaying that all series long, the ability to play the smaller man.
And
Brown
the finish on the other
finishing
side.
out of the
You
rim.
earned it.
Great look by Mason, though. Didn't waste any time.
Yep. Took right advantage of that.
Finding Brown on the run out
And
getting behind the defense.
To get back to Brown's defense, I'm not sure what the call is there.
Got a foul away from the ball.
He's one of the more
That's on
patient,
Mason.
one of the more patient defenders, probably, that I've seen in the league, especially for a big. He doesn't leave his feet usually if he doesn't have to, and he's deceptively, I don't know if he's quick or what, but guys just have a hard time getting around him. Faster guys. Probably that big body, but he really, his footwork is fantastic.
Footwork and wingspan definitely come into play for Brown, and another foul call.
Yikes.
Off the pick and roll.
Coach Leslie having a discussion there.
Clint Scales picks up his third personal. So after the hot start offensively by Clint Scales, he picks up 3 quick personals. So decision time here for Mike Leslie. Whether to go back to Zimmerman with 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Poole steps up on Bolden, and he's called for the foul. So that's 5 straight personal team fouls, for the Hurricanes as the Boo Birds rain down here at Scotiabank. Clint Scales will go to the bench. Zimmerman will check in. Fans not happy.
Billy White checks in.
White coming back as well. Poole's first personal. Williamson will inbound with 14 on the shot. Bolden banks it home.
And they took advantage of those 2 switches.
Good looking inbound play as Bolden unattended
That's what I'm saying. They did a good job of taking advantage. Halifax made those subs. I don't think they had the defensive situation quite sorted out when that ball went in.
Zimmerman puts it up for 3, and Zimmerman puts it down.
There you go.
So right off the bench, Taquan Zimmerman, they had a good look off of that dribble handoff, and he made no mistake knocking it down. Williamson on the drive, he banks it in and one.
Oh my goodness, that was
and he's called for the offensive foul. And he is in disbelief. He looks to the sky and he wants a quick conversation with Matt Boyle, who called that foul.
Let's just see if we can see the replay. They see Zimmerman hitting that 3. It looked like a travel to me almost on Williamson, not so much an offensive foul. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know if we're going to see the replay of it here. And we are not.
So a 6-point lead. Timeout on the floor.
Halifax needs to take advantage of this opportunity they got right now with this turnover. 41-47. Crowd starting to build back up on your back. Get a couple of points, man. Doesn't got to be rushed. Doesn't got to be a 3. Get a couple of points, and you're within 4 points.
4:30 remaining in the second quarter. Halifax starting to mount some sort of comeback here. It's 17-15 in the quarter. The Bolts outscored the Canes 32-24 in the first 12 minutes. But trying to dig in one possession at a time. So important defensively, and they just need to make that adjustment and continue to build on those adjustments and make sure that London doesn't hurt them with them open looks off the pick and roll mat.
That's right. And as I'm looking at the numbers here, there's nothing that jumps out right now that one team is doing way better than the other, with the exception of the 3-pointers. Okay, Halifax is shooting a higher percentage, but they've only shot 6 3-pointers. London has managed to run a good offense, getting open looks, 13 threes, and they dropped 7 of them. Right? That's a huge difference. But Halifax, they've got to get to their game, the transition game, the game underneath, get Billy White with his back to the basket. This game is by no means out of hand. It's only a 6-point lead. Lots of basketball left.
We have a long way to go in deciding a champion tonight between these two teams.
Two well-coached teams, athletic teams,
and
teams filled with veterans.
Very even in skill as well. And veterans that have been there before and hoisted the championship trophy.
That's right.
So Mason crosses the timeline. Zimmerman closely guarded by Capers. Double screen for Zimmerman. Picked up by Bolden now. Brown and Boyd battling, and that's been a matchup. Brown off the bank and no good. That was a good defensive play, as you mentioned, by Boyd standing his ground.
Sure did.
Playing the bigger man.
He's a strong player, Julian Boyd.
Boyd
nice
rolls
defense.
back to the rim, knocked away by Brown. Williamson, and Boyd is down, and he is in a lot of discomfort right now.
Looks like he got it off the finger.
Holding his rib cage.
Okay.
A huge collision between him and Brown. Brown stepped in and knocked that one away as he tried to roll back to the rim off the pick and roll.
Yeah.
Brown stepped into the passing lane. Let's take a look.
See the replay here. See, Brown steps in.
Huge collision between two big men.
Yep.
So let's hope that Boyd's okay. He's back up under his own power. Still holding that left rib cage area.
Shot to the ribs, never tickles.
12 on the shot clock for the Bolts. Leading by 6. Herring Jr. back in the game for London. Williamson, good look, and he knocks it down, beating the shot clock.
It was a nice play, nice offensive set.
But you see the urgency to try to shut down Herring Jr. He drew the double team, and he was able to find Williamson wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Great awareness by Herring Jr. Watson misses that shot. Rebound by the Bolts. They're looking to run. Bolden almost pulled up the three. Pulls back. Herring Jr. He'll attack. Drives the rim, and a nice alley-oop to Capers, who banks it in.
Great basketball, smart basketball by Herring Jr. The man, he knew the defender had to step up, where he couldn't let him just get to the basket unevaded, and that left the big man underneath.
And that's the 5th assist on the evening for Herring Jr. And we're back up to a 10-point deficit for the Hurricanes as they turn it over. So miscommunication between Zimmerman and White. As Clinkscales checks back in for Zimmerman. So Mike Leslie gambling. The captain's got 3 personals with 3:02 remaining here in the second.
Yeah.
How much of a gamble is that for Mike Leslie?
It's a bit of a gamble, but with a guy with, like Clinkscales, not as much of a gamble with 3 fouls as maybe another player would be. You know what I mean? Cliff isn't a guy that gets a lot of fouls. He doesn't foul out of a lot of games. So, you can take risks with guys like him with 3 fouls where maybe you couldn't, especially with someone like a big.
And White drains it from downtown. Good look as he stepped into that 3. A much important bucket for the Hurricanes as White steps into his second 3 ball of the evening. Bolden again from downtown's no good, way off.
It was a good
Bowles 1 for 3 from distance.
And what what I saw there, they tried to run that pick and roll. Halifax guarded it great. Tyrone Watson was able to jump down. London, plan B was to kick it out to the man on the perimeter, which they did. He was relatively open, but Bolden wouldn't make it drop. So Halifax, London's running a great offense right now.
Mason off the pick and roll, turns the corner, and he's down. It looks like Mason might have twisted at his ankle, but he's right back up. Hobbling off his left ankle is Mason.
Can't afford to lose him.
You can't afford Antoine Mason, who's been lights out throughout the playoffs, who's led the charge offensively. 23 points here in the finals, averaged 23 throughout the playoffs, and he has been magnificent through the regular season.
Yeah.
As he was the number 2 in voting for MVP, league MVP, that was eventually won by Carl English from the St. John's Edge.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised by that, right? You and I talked about it all year long, about how he was going to be in the running for it. So to hear that second in voting. I'm not surprised by that one bit.
So Mason trying to shake off the effects of that shot he took driving the rim. And he makes both, fights through the pain. He hobbles a little bit off the free throw line. So it's going to be interesting to see if London will try to go to Mason on the defensive end as he's guarding Capers now. Herring Jr., pick and roll. Williams Jr. can't deny at the rim by Brown. Kane's got numbers in transition. Watson banks it off the window, but it's a goaltend by Capers.
That's the right call.
Keith Vassal's got his hands in the air, and I'm not sure. Once that ball goes off the backboard, with any basketball, that's a goaltend.
Yeah. You see the replay of it here. Off the board,
There's some
it's an easy call.
Rules here in the National Basketball League of Canada outside the association, but goaltending's universal, and that's all around. Capers, three-point lead. Capers, tough shot, can't get it to go. Rebound by Clinkscales. Clinkscales looking to run in transition. He's got Bolden guarding him inside the Brown, and Johnson ties up Brown. That's a smart move by Johnson as Brown was backing him down underneath the rim with 1:20 remaining in the second quarter.
He had him where he wanted him before he even had the ball.
Had great positioning.
Smart play.
That's Kyle's first personal.
You called it, Vince. This is a game of runs, right?
Clinkscales with the inbound, absolutely, and we're not done. Brown loses his man, and he banks it home as Capers falls on the inbound, and it's a 1-point lead by London.
I didn't see the play there. Did Capers slip, or?
Looked like he slipped as Brown was
see the replay
to
here.
The basket.
Oh, no, he's going to get the.
But huge isolation. He's on the deck, as you can see in that replay.
Yeah. I think Halifax got warned for delay game as well.
Herring Jr. to the rim, and he's fouled by Watson. And
I'm not sure where the foul was. Maybe on Ramel Brown as he reached.
Doug will shoot two.
Let's see here. Oh man, I'm not sure if I agree with it, but I'm not a ref.
And Mike Leslie having an extensive conversation with Jason Steele. Didn't like that foul call.
Let's see, I blame him.
Boo Birds again raining down at Scotiabank, and probably not going to be the last. As Herring Jr. knocks down his first free throw, and it's hard to believe that it's his first trip to the free throw the way he's been playing. 6 of 9 shooting from the field, 3 from 5 for downtown is Doug, and he rattles home the second. Perfect trip for him to the charity stripe. Nothing but magnificent right now for Herring Jr., who's got 17, along with 5 assists.
Putting on a basketball clinic.
Clinkscales on the reversal, and that's a tough three. Rebound by White. White, he'll put it up for downtown, and bang, he knocks it down. So second chance opportunities. These second chance opportunities last evening weren't going down, but they are tonight as Williams Jr. runs right into the back of the rim there off the pick and roll. He is fouled, and he's down hard. Let's hope that Kirk's okay. Landed on his back.
See the three there by Billy White. Off of the rebound. Let's see if we see the replay of that foul.
Mason picks up his third.
Mason was coming over to, they were running the pick and roll. He had the adjust. Someone had to help, and he came over full tilt.
London not wasted any time getting up and down the floor after that Hurricanes 3 ball. As Kirk hits the first, gets the friendly bounce.
3 fouls for Mason.
Yep, decision time for Coach Leslie with 28.4 seconds remaining.
It looks like they're going to bring in, no, Mike Poole will go back.
Well,
they'll let Mason finish out the half.
A difference of 4 seconds on the shot clock and game clock. 1-point game.
Be nice to see Mason get some points here.
Mason on the drive, trying to take Williams Jr. Watson kicks it out to White. White's got to put it up, forces the 3, no good. as Capers was able to close out. Herring Jr. from half court, and it's good!
Are you kidding me?
Herring Jr. drains the three at the gun from half court.
Are you kidding me, this guy?
I'm not surprised the way he's been playing. He's absolutely on fire, and that's an understatement. He's playing like it's a video game, and that's 20 in the first 24 on 7 of 10 shooting, 4-6 from downtown.
I don't know what he's like. He's playing NBA Jam right now. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say. He's been a fantastic player, and Halifax climbed all the way back. Oh my goodness! Tied the game, down by 1 now. With that, they're down by 4, but it's not a huge, not a huge lead. But you just don't want to see it happen.
Absolutely. If there's a silver lining to the first 24 minutes, it's a 4-point deficit for the home team. Herring Jr. with 20 to lead the way for London. Billy White with 13. So after 24 minutes, it's the London Lightning 57-53. So stay with us. We'll be back. You're watching the 2018 NBLC Finals here on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. Halifax and the Scotiabank Center for the 2018 NBLC Finals, game number 7. And there was lots of fireworks with Matt Elliott, Vince Williams on hand. Man, the first 24 minutes was electric. 57-53, London leading by 4. But the story of the game thus far has been number 9 in gold, Doug Herring Jr.
Yeah, he's been Mr. Unstoppable. He's 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. Hit a couple 3 throws. He's got 5. The guy's got 20 points. But I mean, you know, a good summary of this whole game. He hits that 3 at half court to finish this game. It's just been the way it's been going for him. He can do no wrong so far. Halifax has to find a way to put a lid on him, or he's going to do some more damage, man.
So this is a 12-round heavyweight championship fight for the NBLC crown, and we got 6 rounds, but that London Lightning 6 rounds, there was a lot of haymakers, a lot of body blows, and big shots. Will Halifax rebound from those body blows is the answer.
Yeah, well,
or the question
yeah.
They're looking for the answer.
Yeah, we're going to find out. They were able to win that quarter, was Halifax, by 4 points after losing the first one by 8.
So the Hurricanes will start the third with possession. White going right to work, and he banks it in.
And that's where they need him to do a lot more of.
They need to get Billy White going in the second half. Williamson,
get out.
Denied by Brown. Mason back the other way. Mason taking his time. Bolts got back in transition. Mason off the drive, and he banks it home with the left hand. Back-to-back drives and back-to-back executions off the left side by the Hurricanes, and they erase that 4-lead deficit, and we're knotted up at 57 apiece.
Yeah, Halifax not letting that 3-pointer by Herring kill their momentum. Did he walk?
Brown's call for the double dribble.
Double dribble. So Halifax has a chance now to take their first lead since, what was it, 4-3?
Absolutely, it's been a long time, way back in the first quarter.
See the finish there by Mason.
And fans, if you're just joining us, we got an absolute dandy going on right now. And I'd like to welcome in all the fans in London, Ontario, cheering for their team as Mason is denied at the rim there. Good defensive rebound by Bolden. Mason had a good look.
Fans wanted a foul called. Looks like he got held up a little by Bolden.
Williams Jr. with the spin, and he banks it in.
That's a tough draw for Clinkscales.
It seems to be a matchup that London's trying to take advantage of.
Why not?
Almost every trip down.
I would
At least a touch by Williams Jr. 2-point game. White one-on-one with Bolden, spin up and under. Oh, wow.
Jeez,
man, oh man, they need to double Billy White. If Billy White's starting to go off now, no disrespect to Boyd, but he can't play him one-on-one in the paint with the plethora of moves by Billy White.
When Billy gets his back to the basket, his footwork is just second to none.
There's probably nobody better besides Royce White. Williams Jr. tries to answer, no good. That rims in and out. Inside the Brown. Brown now trying to go to work on Williamson, and he's called for the offensive foul.
That was, I'm not sure where that call came from.
Looked like the hook was called.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. It is very animated and displayed by Jason Steele.
Yeah.
Didn't need to verbalize it. You could see it.
Yeah, I guess so. Halifax just can't get those points to give him that lead.
Herring Jr. being guarded full court by Clinkscales. Bolden dribble handoff. Oh, he faked it. Williamson backdoors Williamson, and he gets it to go down.
Great cut by Williamson.
Explosive cut at the free throw line by Williamson, and great awareness is Williams Jr. with that feed. Back to a 2-point game. Mason and Herring Jr.'s call for the reach. He looked like he stepped in front of Mason. Was there, but with a late step in, tried to deny that penetration by Mason.
See the replay here. Oof. He looked like he knocked the ball free. It looked pretty clean. Well,
So we got a stoppage and play here. A quick conversation by Matt Boyle. And he had a quick conversation with Herring Jr. and Mason. Mason turns the corner, spins, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot too.
I'd like to see a lot more of that too. I mean, we know that was his game all year long, was getting into the paint, getting fouled, and just being aggressive.
Absolutely. Mason turning the corner there off of that pick and roll.
London's done a good job of clogging up the paint, really, and they haven't let those guys penetrate a whole lot.
Yeah, they've been making it tough on Mason. 2 for 7 shooting on the night. His third trip to the free throw line,
In and out.
That's in and out. And he's talking to himself, looking skyward.
A lot of family watching him tonight.
Absolutely. In New York, as well as North Carolina. I'd like to welcome the Mason family to game number 7. As I'm pretty sure they haven't missed many of his games at the professional level or the collegiate level as well. Loose ball, Mason able to tap at the clink scales. Kane's got numbers. Mason puts it up for 3. Mason, no good. Rebound by Watson.
Ooh.
And that's knocked out of bounds by Herring Jr. Mason had a good look from
Sure
beyond
did.
the arc. He leads everyone in 3-point balls going down. He's got 14 in the finals.
Which wasn't totally his game in the regular season. He hit them when he needed to.
Turned it on. He tries again, and he misses
off.
everything off the backboard. Collision between him and Williamson. And Williamson trying to stand up Mason.
Mason does a good job of not biting there.
Williamson banks it in through the contact.
He's had some words.
So Williamson, the beneficiary of that quick conversation between him and Mason.
See the replay there. Catches him cutting.
You can see
Mason
late in the
wasn't on
screen
him.
there too. Mason coming late.
Yeah. Well, what you saw what happened. They both kind of got up. Mason didn't want to get into the fight, didn't want to have words, and then smartly Williamson took off.
Yeah,
Right.
sneaky move there
Yeah.
by Williamson, but heads up basketball. Great
For
awareness.
Sure. Fault a guy for that.
Runs the floor, and now he'll have an opportunity to complete the 3-point play. And he does. Back to a 4-point lead for London. After multiple ties, Hurricanes briefly took the lead in the third here.
Spin.
White, and he banks it in again. Beautiful spin move on Boyd. So the switch defensively from Boyd to Bolden.
Yep.
And Bolden didn't have much success after Boyd was unable to contain White. Williamson, though, he banks it in through the contact on Brown, and Garrett Williamson is starting to come on.
Yeah, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder right now.
You gotta take care of Williamson. He's got 13 now on 6 of 10 shooting. And
Beautiful.
count it. But this is the matchup right here that is key.
Yeah.
The smaller Williamson trying to guard Ramel Brown in the post. It's
Too
been
big.
one that's been off and on, and it's been good for the Hurricanes, but the Lightning usually come with that double team, and
right.
it comes late. Either Kirk Williams Jr. comes late or Bolden comes late. That time, they left it all on the hands on Williamson, and you've seen
See
the
what
result.
happens, yeah. And when you can send a guy over there, when you come late and like you and I discussed for the game, you force him to make that pass. He has to be the decision. You got that double. I got to kick it out to someone.
Yeah, he put the onus on Ramel Brown to make the right decision. Williams Jr. for 3, and he drains it. Stepped into that 3 ball. As he knocks down his second 3 of the game. He's 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. He's got 13. Watson spins, and it was probably better off shooting that fadeaway.
Yeah.
So they try to make a tough pass and a connection between him and White. Off the bottom of the backboard and out of bounds. 5-point game. Boyd puts it up for 3, and he drains it. Stepped into that.
It's just
He's
that kind of
stroking
game.
that 3. Boyd, he's got 13 3 balls in the series. And He's starting to get it going from beyond the arc, is Julian.
2 for 4 for him. He's got 12 points on the day. Nice finish by Watson.
Watson getting to the rim.
Halifax making a more concerted effort to go into the paint now.
They got to defend. Got to defend, Matt. 10 of 19. Williams Jr. no good. Bolden with the follow-up, and he counted through the contact.
Halifax can't catch a break right now.
No, offensive rebounds starting to haunt them here. Second chance opportunities.
You see it in it. Ramel Brown does a good job, gets the block, but Bolden is able to get past Mike Poole, and Poole, nothing he can do.
Yeah, Mold stay with it. Now he'll have an opportunity to complete the three-point play, and he does. So just like that,
indeed.
we were tied. Hurricanes had the lead.
Oh,
now
wow.
it's 9 points, and there's Clint Scales.
There he is.
And he banks it in through the contact. Clint Scales answering.
Put into another gear there.
Looked like he put the defense to sleep there, and looks like a conversation between Williamson and Kirk Williams Jr. Some confusion defensively, his missed assignment there in that one. And a timeout on the floor called by the Lightning. But it's a 7-point lead for London. Cliff Scales will go to the line coming out of the timeout, but man, every answer that Halifax has had, London has answered back.
This is the epitome of bend but don't break right now for London, right? They bended. Halifax, they allowed them to tie it up a couple times now, but they just won't let them get past. They won't let them get that lead, and then they pushed it back up, right? They were back up before that by 9 points again. So Halifax has to keep coming. They have to keep staying hungry. Good job by Clink Scales. You know, that's why he's the captain. That's why I call him Clutch Scales, because if he needs to put it on his back, he will, and he can. So let's see what he does now.
As London are lighting the net on fire, they are 10 of 19 from downtown.
You know, I said
they're continuing to shoot that three ball as they're getting some good looks from beyond the arc.
Halifax is 7 of 13. Like, neither team is shooting poorly. London's just putting more of them up. You know, and like I said at the last quarter, they can't keep shooting like this. But man, they're going out there to prove me wrong. Good basketball, one way or the other. If you're a basketball fan and you're not emotionally invested in this one either way, you're being treated right now.
So out of the timeout, Clint Scales will step up to the free throw line for the N1. Clint continuing to be aggressive offensively. He's trying to will his team to get some energy with 5:58 remaining in the third.
Go. There
and
we go.
He rattles that one down, gets it to drain. So it's a 6-point lead for London.
Nice defense
Williamson,
by Mike Poole.
Second chance, and he gets it to go.
He's been getting some great bounces as Garrett Williamson. Was well defended by Mike Poole, but he was out of the picture by the time the rebound came down.
Clink Scales blows by Williams Jr. and he banks it in. It's a beautiful take by Clint Scales as he had the bigger man trapped in space. Williams Jr. now not trying to post up Poole. Poole standing his guard, and he partially blocks it. Brown comes over, gets it. Now the Hurricanes will get into the open floor. Here's Clint Scales for three. No good, too strong. Brown with the rebound. Brown back to the rim. White for three, bang, and White knocks it down.
Ooh, they're on their feet now.
Relentless rebounding on the offensive end by Ramel Brown.
Halifax looking a little bit more hungry right now. And how about my Pool's defense? Uh-oh.
Williams Jr. no good. Clinkscales to White in the open floor. To
Nice
Watson,
pass.
he banks it home and one.
What a
And
pass by
Watson's
Billy
fired
White.
up, and just like that, they caught lightning in a bottle.
Oh, man. This is a game, Vince. This is a game.
A
Great
game
finish
of
by
runs.
Watson.
We talked about it, and it will continue to be a game of runs.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go in this one. 4:28, as you
Look
can
at
see the replay.
Great finish.
Boyd coming late,
Yeah.
and that was not a smart foul by
No.
Julian,
Let him finish it.
and he picks up his 4th personal. Timeout on the floor called by Keith Vassell. Wants to talk things over. Had this building relatively quiet about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And just like that, the offense erupts coming out of that timeout for Halifax.
And this is what Halifax wanted, right? They wanted to make a couple good runs. They wanted to get, it's obviously more fun when you can get these runs and then the fans get on your back and you can keep the momentum going. This is what they want, right? It's harder to get the fans on your back when you slowly plug away. So Halifax done a good job. Man, they won't go away. Let's just see now how London comes and responds. I want to see if they pull Julian Boyd out of the game. He's got 4 fouls. They're going to need him in the 4th quarter because he's huge for them. I'm going to guess they're going to pull him for a few minutes at least.
Well, I tell you, the number 1 seed to start the playoffs, the Halifax Hurricanes, with home court advantage throughout the playoffs, are trying to take advantage of this home court advantage. And when they go on a run and get their fans involved, it's absolutely electric. We've had 20 home games here and multiple games throughout the playoffs, you and I, to call these games. And when this building's gets involved,
when it gets going,
the team gets going, and the opposition is in trouble.
Yep. And that's, that also has a lot to do, and same thing with London, with the fans can make, these players have been around for a few years. Your Clinkscales, your Billy Whites, your Watsons, guys that have been around for a few seasons. Fans kind of build a bond with them, and they're more likely to get into it. And it's the same thing with London. They keep try to keep the same players around, and that's great for a fan base.
So Watson will try to complete the 3-point play, and he does, much to the delight of the dancing fans in the aisles, and we're knotted back up at 77 apiece.
All right, 0-0.
Got to dig in defensively, the Hurricanes. Looking for some answers. Boyd almost lost the handle there. Clinkscales gets over top of the screen. Herring Jr. throws up a wild shot, misses everything. Tried to draw the foul on Clinkscales. Keith Vassell's got his hands up looking for a foul. But as you mentioned, that was a good no call by the officials as Herring Jr. tried to sell that one.
I think he sold it just a bit too much.
Brown now. Here's Watson. Watson on the drive, kick out the Pool, blow by, pull up, teardrop, count it.
Nope.
And just like,
he
stepped on the end line.
And
it looked like when he made it,
he might do that more than anybody.
Steph Curry. But man, it was an explosive first move, but he's got to be aware. We see about 3 or 4 of them a game.
And it's on that side.
So it will remain 77 apiece. The basket will not count.
The roof was going to come off this place.
Herring Jr. banks it home, and that's a tough shot by Herring Jr. as he falls through the floor.
And that's a guy they're going to keep going to.
Man, Doug is just shooting the lights out tonight, trying to put his team on his back. Clinkscale splits the defense. Left hand, no good. Rebounds kicked around in a battle between Brown and Bolden. And it looks like we have a foul, and it's called on Brown. He's called for the hold.
They got tangled up there.
Mo Bolden was able to block out Brown.
And it looks like that's 2 for Brown, so not a huge deal yet for the big man.
Herring Jr. off the screen, gets to the rim, can't
Brown was
finish,
there.
rebound by Brown.
I think Brown got a piece of that.
Canes have numbers in transition. Watson, count it. Canes got to get back though. And we're tied right back up at 79. Bolden now, he's attacking, crosses over, loses the handle, finally turns it over. Clinkscales, here he comes in transition, and a good foul.
Smart
transition.
play by Doug Herring Jr.
Sacrifices the personal foul after the Canes had numbers.
Yep.
Back the other way off the Bolden turnover.
Very smart play. Good basketball by Doug Herring. That's only his second for the game, so why not, right? Slow it down. Slow it down.
That's one thing they can't afford to do, allow the pace being dictated by Halifax.
Yeah.
If Halifax dictates the pace, this thing can get out of hand quickly.
Yep, especially at home.
Julian Boyd goes to the bench as Johanny D'Alembert checks in for the first time in the second half for London. Clinkscales on the inbound. Klink gets it back. Watson, baseline, double team. Brown faces up D'Alembert, takes D'Alembert to the rim. He blocks it, but Mason is there with the putback as he follows up that block shot by D'Alembert. D'Alembert did a good job standing his ground, came up with the block shot on the bigger man, but the motor of Antoine Mason continuing the run, and we're going to see that. And that's indicative in the shoes that he's wearing, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog, trying to collect those rings, right? Halifax takes their first lead in quite a while.
Just over 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Williams Jr. gets it tapped away. Gay's got numbers in transition. Clinkscales off the glass, no good. White almost came up with the rebound. Clinkscales wanted the contact, but a 3-on-2 back the other way. And we usually see the thing go down, either in a dunk or finish and one.
Yeah, he usually gives it up.
So missed opportunity in that run out off the turnover. Still a 2-point game. Bolden for three,
open.
Good look, can't knock it down as he looked like he came out of that shot, faded away to his right. Really didn't have a chance the moment it left his hand. Mason to White, thought about it. White, blow by. Drives inside on Bolden and barrels into the chest of Bolden, and he's called for the charge. Bolden did a good job of getting back and able to make up the ground and step in front of Brown. White. White not agreeing with it.
See the replay here. Bit of a shoulder. Might have been a bit of a flop, but if you're a ref, I think you got to call it.
You make the call. I usually leave it up to you whether it's a flop or not. So just over a minute remaining here in the third. Herring Jr. crosses the timeline. Doug kicks it out to Johnson for three. Johnson drains it. It's a 1-point game for London. Mason, tough jumper, banks it off the backboard. D'Alembert at the closeout. Williamson in transition, trying to find D'Alembert.
Good job.
Had no numbers there, really forced the issue. Mason to Watson, and Watson draws the foul on D'Alembert, and he'll go to the line and shoot two.
Good
and
job,
Williamson,
Halifax.
you can see Williamson looking to the sky here, and he's batting his chest there in frustration. You can see in the replay. Go ahead.
And you see you see he just got, D'Alembert knew he had to hack him, right? He got him off his feet. He knew he had to hack him.
That was a very hard foul.
Yeah.
Johanny trying to use all 6 of those personals. Know he's going to play limited minutes.
That's right.
But this to finish the point, Williamson came down, thought he had numbers. Hurricanes did an outstanding job as Watson misses the first. Had an outstanding job of getting back on defense, closed the gap, and it ended up being a 4-on-2 and a very tough pass in tight to D'Alembert. No disrespect to him. There's no way he was making that catch and finishing at the rim.
There was too many arms in the passing lane.
So Watson goes 1 for 2, and we're tied once again. Just like Game 6, is back and forth, multiple lead changes, multiple ties.
It's been exciting.
Herring Jr. puts it up for 3, and he knocks it down right between the eyes.
Jeez. I don't know what you do at this point. You know, no one's got an answer for Doug Herring Jr. He is lights out right now.
Doug is on fire.
5 of 8.
And that's good for 25 points on 9 of 14 shooting. Mason, alley-oop to Brown. Great connection between Mason and Brown. Herring Jr. trying to get the inbound. And we might have a turnover here, and it's off of Herring Jr. Doug trying to get the ball quickly and race up the other way and get that last second shot off, but it's going to cost them.
You see the follow-up by Brown.
Mason's going to say that's an assist. I'm giving it to him.
Right out of the playbook.
Good roll back to the rim by Remel Brown. So 4.2 seconds remaining in the third. Mason will inbound, trailing by 1. Brown. He's got to hurry. Brown forces it. Shot no good, and that'll do it. So good closeout defensively by D'Alembert, and it's a 1-point lead for the Lightning heading into the fourth here.
This is it. 12 minutes of basketball left in the National Basketball League of Canada's 2017-2018 season. 12 minutes for the rest of your life. What do you think? This has been fantastic basketball right now, Vince. If I'm taking a look at the numbers, both teams are shooting fantastic. They're both 55% from the field. Both 12 of 24 from three-point land from London. 8 of 15 for Halifax. Free throws, neither team has shot a ton of them. Halifax has more. They got the line 16 times. They've only hit 10 of them, so they've missed 6 free throws. That's the difference right now, too. It could be 6 points, essentially.
Yeah, free throw shooting has been a problem for Halifax throughout this series. They have struggled from the charity stripe.
Yep.
They're shooting 67% as a team. London just a little bit better at 71, but in games 3, it came back to bite them, the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
They shot just under 50%, just over, 50%. And that was a factor in that loss in that first game back home for London.
And if you look, Halifax is winning right now on all the hustle stats, right? So they're keeping themselves in the game with the hustle stats because where they're missing those free throws. But if you look, the assists, Halifax has 22, 16, only 16 assists at this point for the London Lightning. Defensive rebounds, the rebounds total, Halifax has got an edge of 7, but offensive rebounds, they've got 9 to the London Lightning's 5. So they're winning those hustle stats right now, but they're still down by a point.
But what can you say of the play of Billy White and Doug Herring Jr. as they are going toe-to-toe this evening in game number 7? White, 22 points on 9 of 12 shooting. He's 4 of 5 from downtown with 4 rebounds. Herring Jr., 9 of 14, 5 of 8 from downtown for 25 points, 8 assists. These guys, 2 veterans that know each other well, as Herring Jr. used to play in the Atlantic Division for St. John. So they know each other quite well. They have battled on many of nights in the Atlantic Division, and Herring Jr. is no stranger to Scotiabank Center.
Yeah, and as we start the fourth quarter now, is it going to be Billy White? Is it going to be Doug Herring Jr.? Or is it going to be someone else?
Yeah, someone else is going to have to step up. Those guys are going to continue to play at a very high level as London will start the fourth with possession. Herring Jr. here. The D'Alembert, and D'Alembert turns it over. Kane's back the other way. Here's Mason to Poole. Poole banks it in.
Good hustle by Antoine Mason to chase that ball down.
So a huge mistake there by D'Alembert as he tried the dribble handoff. Missed the connection on that pick and roll.
We got Mike Poole out on Doug Herring Jr. now.
Poole, the longer defender, switches with White. Johnson. Boyd, fadeaway, no good. D'Alembert tried to come up with the offensive rebound, couldn't handle it.
Having a hard time with his hands today.
With Brown, man. It's tough with that big body battling underneath the basket. You got a tough enough job of trying to block out or gain position on Brown, who takes up a lot of space, and then try to make a one-handed catch. You might as well forget it. Mason now. Bull between the legs, blows by Johnson and banks it in. He just made Johnson look like a pylon as he drove to the rim off the right side.
And Mike Poole is feeling really good this game. You can see it in his face. He's got that energy. Foul called on the floor, thankfully, because Herring like hit another three.
Yeah, Herring was loading up on launching another three. As Dellenberg and Johnson will go to the bench for London. Williams Jr. and Bolden will check back. So with 10:43 remaining in the fourth, you got to think Keith Vassal's not going to make not too many changes to his lineup here and try to ride it out all the ways to the end with his starting five.
Yep, this is the season, right? There's no tomorrow, so
leave it all out there.
Get everything you can out of them.
Herring Jr. for three, no good, too strong. Rebound by Poole.
Nice box out.
Watson did a good job of stepping out and extending and getting a hand up in the face of Herring Jr. Mason trying to turn it on. He turns the corner and he looks like he's being called for the offensive foul.
Jeez.
And it
is. He got an elbow in to clear out. There's a lot of calls there. Maybe a bit of a push off. Maybe a bit of a push off.
Boyd had positioning there, so it may be the right call.
Yeah.
That's Mason's fourth personal. Williamson turns the corner.
Nice defense by Billy White.
Boyd kick out the Bolden. He thought about it, and Bolden not confident in shooting the three right now. Bolden again though, and he knocks that one down after resetting. So Bolden, the guy that needed to play well this evening, has struggled here at Scotiabank Center, able to knock that one down. And that's Bowles' second three ball. He's got 13.
And London showed great patience on that set to get that ball back to him.
White now going to work on Williams Jr. And he can't get it to go down. His last touch by the Hurricanes. And it will be London possession. Herring Jr. will inbound. Herring Jr. now. Closely guarded by Mason. Off the screen. Back to Boyd. Boyd for three, and it goes down again. Julian Boyd from downtown. Beautifully executed pick and roll, and that's 14 of 27 from beyond the arc for the Bolts.
That is otherworldly for a team to be shooting at this point in the game.
Poole trying to answer. Can't get it to go down. Brown with the follow-up, but he hits the deck. He's holding either his ankle or hamstring area.
Not good.
And it looks like it may be the back of his Achilles and ankle areas. He's just taking his time to get to his feet, and let's hope that Remel's okay. As Boyd's call for his fifth personal. So interesting times coming up for Keith Vassal. Lots of time remaining with 8:47 remaining. As Capers will check in as Ramel gets to his feet, being assisted here by the Hurricanes medical staff.
He's going to come off by the looks of it.
He's walking very gingerly on that left ankle. And this is a big moment in the game as Ramel Brown.
Hopefully he can get on a bike or get something.
He's been outstanding in this series, and he's been good tonight. 5 of 9 shooting with 11 points and 7 rebounds. It's been the rebounding and the double-double machine he's been throughout these playoffs.
Yeah, they're not showing blocks here in our stats, but he's got at least 3 or 4 of those.
So Clint Scales will step up to the free throw line and shoot the free throws for Brown. Let's hope that Brown is able to continue Clink Scales, that's in and out. Free throw shooting, very important now as we get near down the stretch here.
Yep. Halifax not shooting great right now from the line.
And he goes 0 for 2. So an empty trip, an opportunity to get within one. And it remains a 3-point game. Williamson off the drive, kick out to Williams Jr. Williams Jr. turns the corner, gets inside, can't finish though.
It was a nice
as
move.
Poole was able to bother him at the end of that shot.
See how much they give the ball to Billy White now.
White trying to go to work on Capers,
wow.
spins on Capers.
That was a nice move.
And he'll go to the line to shoot too. That was...
I think Capers was expecting him to back him down.
I'm not sure why he thought he was going to cross him over with the right hand. Billy's gifted with the left hand.
He is, yeah.
And the free throw shooting continuing to hurt the Hurricanes. 10 for 19 now. That's 9 points gone by the wayside in a 3-point game. You don't have to be a mathematician to figure this one out.
Oh my goodness.
And he misses again, so that's 4 straight misses for the Hurricanes as a team. Herring Jr. loses the handle, so a little bit of a break here and an opportunity for the Hurricanes off.
Yeah, they
the
got
turnover here. Now they need to convert.
Got to get some points. Got to get the momentum going again. Got to get the crowd back into it. Because those missed free throws can be a little bit deflating.
Clinkscale swings it to Brown for 2. White gets the friendly roll as White continuing to play at a high level. He's got 22.
Why not?
On 10 of 14 shooting.
Keep feeding Billy White.
Back to a 1-point game. Bolden, baseline.
Nice defense.
Capers with the rebound. Herring Jr. for 3, and he puts it in. Herring Jr. knocks down the 15th 3-ball of the evening for the Lightning. And it's back up to 4. Poole trying to answer. No good. Rebound by Williamson. He gets in the open floor. The Williams Jr. That's slapped away by Clinkscales. Trying to save it on the end line.
I don't know what the call is here, but Keith Vassell is
not happy at all, to say the least. As he is in the face of Jason Steele. Williams Jr. coming over. As he wants an explanation. Inbound by Williamson. Capers gets inside. Right hand's no good. Rebound by Poole. Mason in the open floor. He's bumped by Williams Jr. on the floor. Mason tried to get that shot up to get to the free throw line, but Kirk picks up his 3rd. As Clinkscales will inbound now.
Nice spin by Watson.
Gets to the rim and banks it in and 1.
Just too quick.
Man, lightning move as he spun away from Bolden. Bolden was looking for the double team, and just to compound the problem, he fouls him. And that's probably the 3rd time Tyrone Watson has been fouled with the N1 after a scramble and miscommunication by London's defensive sets, as they looked like they wanted to double Watson or looking for help or a switch. Didn't come. Watson with the outstanding move and getting to the rim, and now the all-important free throws coming up as Watson desperately, and I say desperately, has to put this one down.
There
And
we
he
go.
does.
There we go.
Hurricanes need to desperately continue to put the free throws down.
Yes, they do.
When the opportunity arrives.
Especially this late in the game, this close.
1 point game now. Just over 6 remaining in regulation. Williamson, baseline, and he banks it in.
Nice ball movement by London.
3 point game now. Mason gets inside and
Nice
he gets
take.
the floater to go. Need a little bit more than that, but you can see Antoine is not 100% right now. He seems to be still favoring that left ankle. Williams Jr. trying to back down Watson, spins, kicks it out to Williamson. Williamson drives, he's denied
Blocked by Mike
Poole.
Poole.
The length and athleticism coming up big for the Hurricanes. Mike Poole protecting the basket.
He's been fantastic this game.
Canes trying to take the lead here. Here's Clinkscales. Mason for 3, no good. Rebound by Poole. And
Here
they'll
he is
pull it
again.
out. I think they're trying to go to White now. White
Why
trying
not?
to go to
Get that
work.
ISO.
Spin move,
Beautiful.
pump fake, and he draws a
Beautiful.
foul on Williams
Oh
Jr.
my goodness. If you're kids, if you're a wing, or if you're a 4 and you're watching this game, watch that in replay.
Absolute
Fantastic.
textbook
Oh my goodness.
by Billy White when it comes to facing his man up and going to work on the isolation. Not sure what the confusion is, but it's a timeout on the floor.
Timeout called, I guess.
1 point game, 96-95. We got just
Oh.
over 5 minutes remaining, Matt, and we talked about the multiple runs by both of these teams, and we know there's lots of basketball remaining, and this one is not even close to being deciding. But if you were to pick 1 or 2 things to point out for each side in deciding this final game, what would they be?
For Halifax, it's got to be defense now. They got to stop, especially the perimeter defense. Okay, Doug Herring Jr. is lights out. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's someone in his face or not, but they're still getting threes from elsewhere. Halifax has to close up, make sure that perimeter defense is set, so they can't get that big dagger 3. London can't get that big dagger 3 that kind of, takes the air out of you. That, in my opinion, for London, if they're going to stop Halifax, they got to know the ball's probably going to Billy White, right? So they're going to have to double Billy White if he gets it in the block, and they're going to have to try to not foul Antoine Mason, because if I'm Antoine Mason, I'm taking it to the rack every time.
Both teams being very aggressive. Mason aggressive off the drive, as well as Garrett Williamson for London. Williamson's got 17. Watson's got 19. But Billy White and Doug Herring Jr. have been going toe-to-toe, and the numbers are almost identical. Herring Jr., 10 for 16 from the field on 6 of 10 shooting from downtown. He's got 28 points, with 9 assists. On the other side, Billy White, 10 of 14 shooting from the field, 4 of 5 from downtown with 24 points and 4 rebounds and 2 assists.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down to which team can execute and make shots down the stretch and get stops. Stops are so important right now. Second chance opportunities. Hurricanes got it to alleviate those second chance opportunities. Yeah. And when you mention the closeouts, they got to make sure they play that pick and roll to perfection now. White short on the first.
It's like, Halifax knows that they're struggling with these free throws right now, and it's like it's weighing on them.
11 for 22 to be exact and counting at 52%.
There we go.
And Billy goes 1 of 2.
Tie game.
So 96-96, just over 5 minutes remaining in regulation in game number 7. Backdoor, Boyd banks it in. So good roll back to the rim.
Great roll back.
Off that pick and roll, slipping the screen is Boyd. And Herring Jr.'s got a double-double now with his 10th assist of the evening. Clinkscales to Watson. Shot clock under 5. Watson spins and he banks it home.
Nice finish. Wants the foul.
Big possession coming up here. Hurricanes looking for a stop. Herring Jr.
Foul
as
on the floor.
Clinkscales was riding him to the rim. That's a good foul. That's Halifax's third personal, third team foul, that is.
Yeah.
So Halifax have 3 more fouls to give before they're in the penalty, but it's the 5th personal on Clinkscales. So Clinkscales can't hide out there now. He's one-on-one with Herring Jr. Boyd again, roll back, and Boyd took too many steps. Couldn't gather himself after that catch, made a crazy catch in traffic, was unable to get his footing underneath himself. So the Hurricanes dodged a bullet on that pick and roll that was almost executed with perfection again by the Bolts.
Yeah, and good call by Coach Vassell.
Oh, it's pick and roll every time down, and they're going to do it. And it's going to be Doug Herring Jr. and Bolden the rest of the way, I believe. Mason spins, loses the handle. Mason, shot clock under 5, forces the tough shot.
Great defense
turns
by
it
Williamson.
over, run out by Williams Jr. in transition, can't get it to go, and a foul call on Mason as Williams Jr. will go to the line to shoot 2.
So great defense out there on the wing by Williamson. Get the kick out there. Looks like Rommel Brown's coming back in.
So Ramel looks like he's okay. Mason will go to the bench with his 5th personal. And Brown's back in. And Williams Jr.'s too strong on the first. London faring a little better tonight, but it's only their 11th trip to the 11th and 12th trip to the free throw line attempts this evening.
Yeah, well, why go to the rim when you can you just drop bombs all night long like they've been doing, right?
And he goes 1 for 2. So it's a 1-point game. Brown, hand off to Clinkscales, swings at the Poole, pump fake, steps inside the 3 line, can't get it to go. Rebound by Bolden, and he's called for a walk, but he's coming up lame here. It looked like he might have tweaked either a knee or a hamstring. So he battled between 2 defenders, came up with the rebound, but unlucky, unable to gather himself.
And it looks like that tweak is what kind of made him leave his feet in the first place with the ball.
As he waves to the bench, as Keith Vassell is looking to get confirmation that he's okay. Now here's Clinkscales and White. Back to Clinkscales, guarded by Bolden in space. They're trying to take advantage of this matchup. Watson gets inside. Lots of contact. Watson is down, clutching his right knee. He's in a lot of discomfort right now. Williams Jr. for 3, and he knocks it down. And that has to hurt beside the pain that Tyrone Watson has right now. Watson is in a lot of difficulty right now.
Coach Leslie
clutching
not happy
that right
at all.
knee.
He thought that he should have the whistle should have blown almost immediately as soon as Watson went down. Refs let the play happen, and Coach Leslie is not happy.
Yeah, you could see in that replay he came down awkwardly on that right knee. Williams Jr. wide open, and he calmly knocks down the 3. And let's hope that Tyrone is okay.
Yeah.
But he is in a lot of difficulty right now, still holding that right knee. Man, he had a lot of different scenarios happen in this game.
Oh my goodness.
We'd had it all in game number 7.
Yeah. Fans are getting the money's worth today. And for those of you watching on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel, getting treated to a great game of basketball.
Yeah, we like to welcome in and thank you for joining us, all the fans out there in London, Ontario. I'm pretty sure there's a viewing party
almost
somewhere
1,000
in London where their faithful is hoping for the road team to capture their 4th championship in 7 years, and the 2nd time back-to-back for them. We still have 2:44 remaining as Watson gets to his feet and gets to the bench. And Mason will come back for him.
Gonna guess it's the last we're probably gonna see of Watson this season.
4-point game. Halifax needs a bucket here.
They do.
Clinkscales, hesitation. Gets inside on Bolden, can't get it to go down. Rebound by Herring Jr.
And they're gonna use the clock now.
Herring Jr. in no hurry to get into their offense as he's holding it now. Clinkscales has 5 personals, and they'll go to the pick and roll between him and Boyd. Clinkscales, good job of closing out. Williams Jr., tough shot forced by Poole. Can't get it to go. Bolden tried to save it on the end line, and he stepped out of bounds. So good defensive play there by Clinkscales to stay in front of Herring Jr.
A good closeout by Poole.
All-important closeout by Poole, forcing that tough shot by Williams Jr.
What do you think, Vince? Getting into the game, you're down. We have not seen a lot of Taquan Zimmerman. Do you think he'll bring in the sharpshooter if he's needed? He's cold. He's probably cold right now, right?
Only if Clinkscales fouls out. You got to go with the guys that got you here. Clinkscales is going to ride it out. He's had a good game. White to Mason. Mason, that's a tough shot. He draws the foul. He'll go to the line, but the all-important free throws coming up.
Yeah. Normally you feel pretty good about this with the free throws, but the way Halifax has been shooting today.
It's been a more of a hide situation than
That's
Jekyll.
it for Boyd.
Boyd,
look at this.
Out of the game, and Tyrone Watson is coming in.
Wow.
For Mike Poole.
Color me shocked, man. The way he went down and was holding his knee, I thought that was it for the season for him.
Well, I tell you what.
Superman.
It's a Willis Reeves, excuse me, moment for Halifax. Fans, if you're not familiar with Willis Reeves, I'm sure in the 1970s, Willis Reeves, who played hurt in a 7th and final game in the association for the New York Knickerbockers, came back, leaped off the bench, limped into the game, but he was instrumental in winning that championship. Oh, jeez. And the struggles continue from the charity stripe. Mason rims in and out the first one. Second one has to go down. And it does.
It does. 3-point game.
1:38 remaining. Canes need a stop. Williamson now.
I'm going to guess that London's going to try to work themselves along the perimeter, try to get a 3 for that dagger.
Williamson gives it to Herring Jr. Herring Jr. looking for the screen, drives to the rim, puts it up, knocked away. Mason comes up with it. He's in the full transition, gets fouled, and a jump ball is called. That is a tough call.
That is
jump
a terrible call from what I could see there. Now
we have to see this.
Let's see the replay before.
Oh, that was an outstanding defensive play by Mo Bolden.
Yes, it was.
As he was able to tie up Antoine Mason. Mason otherwise, on the other hand, wanted the foul. None coming on the outstanding defensive play in transition by Mo Bolden.
I'll eat my words on that one.
Watson will inbound, and he turns it over. Williamson, and he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Had to be fouled.
That was a tough inbound. Watson tried to hit Clinkscales as Marcus Capers stepped into it.
See the replay. Yeah,
that's Capers. The length and the athleticism of Marcus Capers.
Yeah, can't take that for granted.
Williamson will shoot 2. And he hits the first.
Halifax, when they get the ball, regardless if he hits this one or not, they've got to go down. They can't be panicked. They can't
they
force
got to
it,
take
right?
it right to the rim. And Williamson knocks down both. Mike Leslie calls the timeout, and he wants to talk it over, and that'll advance the basketball into the front court.
And you can see Mo Bolden limping a little bit still. I don't know if you could get an ISO on him somehow.
So it all comes down to this.
Yes,
a minute and 3 remaining in regulation. 104-99. London trying to do something in these finals that hasn't happened yet, and that is a road win, and it will be the biggest road win of their 2017-18 season as they will capture their 4th title.
Yep.
But lots of basketball left though. Hurricanes ball in the front court. They have possession, but the all-important inbound coming up, Matt. If you're Halifax, as you mentioned, they have no time to waste. They need to get to the rim and get a bucket and get a stop on the other end.
And if you're Keith
do you
Vassell,
take a 2 or do you take a 3? I think it's too early to take the 3.
I agree.
I think you have to get a 2, but you got to get a 2 in a hurry.
Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised to see London come out of this one with a full court press or some kind of press.
Well, definitely will have to be a half court press.
A half court, excuse me, yep.
Or half court zone, but you've been doing a good, outstanding job playing man-to-man. Why switch it now? But then again, Halifax may not be ready for that switch, so they would have to make the adjustment on the fly. So Halifax will answer with Poole, Mason, White, Brown, and Clinkscales. Capers, Bolden, Williams Jr., Williamson, and Herring Jr. for the Bolts. The fans are on their feet here, looking for an answer, looking for some type of reason to cheer. White kicks it back out. Back out to White, swings it to Clinkscales.
That's Ramel Brown.
Brown back door. Bolden taps it out, but they got to get a shot up. No shot attempt. Mason, he's bottled up. Poole puts it up for 3. That's a tough 3 ball. And rebound by Williams Jr. He got a foul as Herring Jr. is fouled by White. So that possession, they didn't get what they wanted. A tough 3 attempt by Poole.
And Clinkscales.
White's call for his 4th, so they had 1 to give. So 38.8 seconds remaining. 5-point lead for London. Williamson will inbound. Gets it into Bolden. Brown trying to foul Bolden, and he finally does. And Bolden will go to the line to shoot 2 as Halifax are over the limit. It's Ramel's 3rd.
And Mo Bolden, despite that limp, give him credit for getting up and getting in the way of that pass. I think Clinkscales was hoping to float it over top and get it to Ramel Brown.
He gets the friendly roll on the first. Try to make it a 3-possession game, and he does.
So
Clutch free throw shooting down the stretch for London.
Not so much for Halifax.
As it's been to this point the difference, as they have been making it count. And it's been an outstanding shooting night for London.
16 of 30 from 3-point line.
They
16
have
of 30.
The lights out in that particular department. They are 12 of 16 from the charity stripe compared to 8 of 20 from distance for Halifax and 13 of 25 from the free throw line. If there's a statistic that you could draw upon in the reasoning of where this game is going right now, the direction, it will definitely be the free throw shooting.
Oh yeah, no question, it's the free throw shooting, as well as the primary free throw shooting, secondary just the 3-point shooting of London, and they were putting them up in volumes and they were hitting them in volumes. But look, you talk about the free throws. London's only got to the line 16 times, but they've hit 12. Halifax has been to the line 25 times and hit only one more at 13. Like it's in my opinion, it's kind of irrefutable at this point that free throws have been the story.
I've mentioned it several times. You don't have to be a mathematician to figure out which direction the storyline is going. So 35.6 seconds remaining in regulation. It's a 3-possession game. Hurricanes trailing.
Some of the fans here starting to get on their feet, cheering on their team.
Mason with the inbound.
There he is, Taquan Zimmerman in the game.
In. Mason puts it up for 3, can't get it to go down. Poole can't come up with the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Capers. But it will remain Hurricanes possession with 28.9 on on the game clock and 24 on the shot clock. So difference about 5 seconds on game and shot clock. But right now, both clocks are against Halifax. Poole for 3, can't get it to go down. Tapped out, rebound by Williamson. Herring Jr. now, and he's fouled, and that might do it right there.
Yes, it might.
20.7 seconds remaining as Herring Jr. will go to the line to shoot 2. As Herring Jr. has been nothing but outstanding tonight for London. He got it going early, he got it going often.
Yeah.
And he continued to keep it going throughout the game.
He's been fantastic.
So that's in and out. And he makes the second. So timeout called by Mike Leslie with 20.7 seconds remaining. It's an 8-point lead, Matt, and it's very quiet here at Scotiabank Center. The Hurricanes pretty much need a miracle.
Yes, they do. There's no sugarcoating it at this point.
No, absolutely not.
It's a 3-possession game with, what do we got, like 20? Where am I at
20.7 seconds
16 seconds is what I'm showing here. That might be the wrong clock.
Regardless.
No, yeah, exactly. 16 seconds, 20 seconds, it doesn't matter. Halifax is going to have to hit a 3-point foul, hit a 3-point. It's as much as it would be fun to see that, it would be a miracle.
Well, I tell you what, it's very quiet in here, and it's not usually, the fans are usually engaged at this time because it's usually winning time for the home team, but it's a different atmosphere this evening for game number 7.
And all credit to the London Lightning.
Absolutely.
Like I said,
they came in here with a game plan.
They didn't break. Yeah, exactly. And they stuck to their game.
And they stuck with it. Yep. And like I said, it all started with Herring Jr. and his ability to get things going offensively.
And as a basketball fan, this is the kind of finish, even if your team isn't winning, this is the kind of finish you want to see. A team that, 2 teams came out, and the team that won earned it. So, there's no blame in the refs. There's no blame in this, that, the other thing. Just hard-fought basketball.
Yeah, Herring Jr., the line on his night. 29 points, 10 of 17 shooting, 6 for 10 from downtown, and 11 assists. White puts up the prayer. No good. Mason, they let him shoot it.
In and out.
It to go down. Ramel with the putback taps it in.
It's too little, too late.
10.6 seconds remaining. And a timeout called by Keith Vassell. Not happy, Keith Vassell. A little chagrin there. I'm not sure what Nervous moments.
I guess so. Relax,
But
Keith.
you never know. I mean, you're a Pacer fan. You've seen this before.
Yes, that's right.
Can somebody channel inner Reggie White right now?
Reggie
'Cause
Miller?
Halifax really needs him
I
to
would
show
feel
up in somebody's body.
I would feel much better if Reggie Miller was on this team.
Reggie
Jeez.
Miller. I
Jeez,
said White.
you did.
But Miller.
I know what you meant, though.
Yeah, the Pacers versus the Knickerbockers in the 90s. I mean, they need a miracle right now.
Yeah. A lot of Knicks fans will tell you that Reggie did one or two fouls and push-offs in that. Me personally, I didn't see it. You know what I mean?
Of course you did.
I bet you if I went and talked to Antoine
man.
Mason, he might have a different thought.
Well, I'd like to take the time to thank all the faithful fans around
Definitely.
the National Basketball League of Canada
2010 right now.
for joining in for these finals and the regular season in all 10 markets in this great league. On behalf of Matt Elliott and the Silver Vision crew here in Halifax, it's been an absolute pleasure
Yes, sir.
calling games with you all season long, Matt.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It has been a
Williamson is
blast.
fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two, as they were able to get the all-important inbound in.
It's been a fun season. We've got to see a lot of fantastic basketball. A lot of tough moments. This will be one of them.
Absolutely, a very tough pill to swallow for the Halifax franchise. They were in search of championship number 2.
But it was an honor to be able to call a Game 7.
Williamson knocks down 2. 9.5 seconds left, and Rummel turns it over, so that should do it. All is left is the all-important inbound, as Herring Jr. will hold it out, and
That's it.
that's it. The London Lightning have captured the 2018 NBLC Finals. They are champions in back-to-back years. Championship number 4 out of 7, and congratulations to the London Lightning and their whole organization.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can say. Congratulations. They played fantastic basketball. It was a hard-fought win, and they deserve this championship. Halifax played wonderful, had an excellent season. It's been good basketball all year long, and the fans were treated to a fantastic series and a fantastic final game.
So 109 to 101 is the final. The Lightning done the unthinkable, the improbable. Came in a 7th and deciding game in the finals and knocked off the Halifax Hurricanes to win their 4th championship. Outstanding game plan by London.
Yep.
And they execute it to perfection. There's nothing else but you could say.
That's it.
You got to give credit to London right now, but it's a tough pill to swallow, as you said, for Halifax. But they will rebound.
Definitely.
This proud franchise will come back next season, and it will be the get back once again, the get back to these finals and complete and get the job done.
Yep, looking forward to it. Can't wait to the start of next year.
So as you can see, the London Lightning gathering and celebrating here at Scotiabank Center, as we have the trophy presentation along with the finals MVP presentation. And if you were to pick somebody to win the MVP for these finals, you'd be hard-pressed not to pick Doug Herring Jr., who's been outstanding throughout these finals. I mean, he came into this game, Herring Jr., that is, he came into this game averaging 17 points in the finals, even though Williamson had 19 and Boyd with 20. It's been 2 games in particular, if you were to point out, where Doug Herring Jr. was outstanding. He put the team on his back and made sure that the team got over the threshold and did what we didn't think would happen and got the W.
Yeah, and that's just it, right? So you talked about the numbers between Boyd, Williamson, and Herring Jr., but if you got to pick, you pick the guy that did it, the Mr. Clinton, the won Game 7 for you, right? He put the team on his back in Game 7. I think you got to give to Herring Jr. If I had to vote for number 2, I'm going to go with Julian Boyd because I think he was just all over.
Back here at Scotiabank Center,
scoring, passing.
With the NBL Canada champion, London Lightning. And first, we'd like to call Keith Vassell over to say a few words. Keith, the head coach of the London Lightning.
So the trophy presentation
will go in as
going on right now.
Congratulations, Ryan Anderson and Keith
Vassell will
without
take the trophy.
2 of your stars here in the finals, you were able to get it done.
Rookie season.
What does it mean for this team, and what was the edge that gave you this championship?
Just like,
kind of like
team, Mike Leslie.
Yeah. It's the heart of the champions. These guys are going to fight all the way through. We've overcome a lot, and they've kept pushing the commitment to wanting to win regardless of what's going on. And it's a testament. That's why we won it.
Unbelievable.
You've had some championship memories of yourself in your university career here on this court. What does it mean to add that to you as a head coach of this team?
For next year.
It's a great fond memory because that last time it was fantastic, and this one is just as good. And
so we're up to
it's an incredible group of guys, an incredible coaching staff, and it's something that I'll always remember.
Keith, congratulations. And now I'd like to call out Deputy Commissioner of the NBL Canada, Audley Stevenson. And Audley, we're going to present the MVP trophy.
Finals in
and
the Central Division.
A lot of people are worthy of that. Who is it going to be?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the London Lightning for the job they've done this season.
Series MVP.
You know, a lot of great performances on this team. But the MVP of the 2018 NBL Canada Finals, he led the team in scoring. He was a leader. He played defense at both ends, game in and game out. I'd like to welcome Garrett Williamson, your 2018 MVP Finals.
Williamson,
hey, go, my man.
MVP of the finals, and you can't say much about that, but congratulations.
Garrett,
he had an outstanding finals. Garrett
winning that
Williamson
title right now and breaking the home streak of wins here.
9 rebounds.
What was the edge tonight that gave you guys the win?
Man, I got a bunch of dogs with me. They're hungry across the board. This goes out to each and every one of these guys that stepped up every play. We've got guys down. Royce is out. Everybody stepped up. Man, we're fucking hungry, man. I'm sorry for cursing. We're hungry, man.
No Ryan Anderson. And still,
Garrett, congratulations on being MVP.
Thank you. I want this one. I want this one. Give us this one.
You want that one? Well, in that case, Audley, give us your best, Adam Silver. You've been doing deputy commission things all year. Let's present that award.
Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2018 NBL Canada champions, the London Lightning!
So this will be a memory that will be etched in the minds of the Hurricanes fans, the franchise, as well as, most importantly, the players and the coach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, you know,
one that will not be forgotten.
You're going to be hungry.
They will be hungry. So congratulations once again to the London Lightning. They are the NBLC 2017-18 champions. So for my broadcast partner, Matt Elliott, and the entire Silver Vision crew, I'm Vince Williams saying thank you for watching the National Basketball League of Canada season and the playoffs here on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. And I'll say so long, and we'll see you next season here from Halifax.